Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Lunch and Learn Live for this May the 11th, 8 days before my birthday. Woohoo! I'm very excited. I am celebrating my birthday with not one but two parties this year, and I will be thinking about today's guest very much as I'm selecting my outfits for said birthday parties. Because I figure when you've been in lockdown for a year, one party is not enough when you can only have 30 people. So let's do two. One weekend, one the next weekend. I'm going hard and seeing it through for parties this year. Hi, Louise. As you arrive, please do as Louise has done and say hello in the comments section. Let me know where in the world you are and what's for lunch. I had a very lovely chicken stir fry with kale and pretty much the same thing I eat all the time, like something green and meat. It's very boring, but my tummy handles it. So it's good. We're getting there. And this week, guess what? I get to reintroduce pumpkin seeds to my diet. Good Lord, one of these days I'll actually have a life again when it comes to food. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to today's session. And I'm excited today because today is the first in a new chapter of Lunch and Learn Lives where I am going to be having guests from time to time. I know I share some exquisite information and you'll be thinking, oh no, how will we do without Joe's wisdom? Not, right? We're going to be changing it up. Sometimes it'll just be me. Sometimes it'll be some of our amazing mentors and partners, amazing women that I have the pleasure to meet and work with over the years that we will be bringing to you so that you can widen your horizons, what you know, and how you show up in the world in all sorts of ways, inside and out. So today I'm going to be introducing you shortly to the lovely Helen Reynolds, who I have known for many years, and she has been an extraordinary help to me in many, many things. And next week I am interviewing, I believe, Christina Mandlakani, one of the co-founders of Mind Valley. So it's an exciting couple of weeks ahead. Hooray! But before we jump in, do say hello. Let me know where you are in the world and what's for lunch as you arrive. I can see the lovely Louise, who's enjoying a prawn Thai yellow curry in sunny St Ives in Cambridgeshire. Yum! Oh! Shona is up in sunny Aberdeen. Breakfast is for lunch. Oh, I like the sound of that day. I really wish that was my day, to be perfectly fair. Janet is having a tuna sandwich. Classic lunch today for her. Good to see you, darlings. Wherever you are in the world, do say hello. Let us know how you're traveling. I don't know what the weather's like there. It's been sunny here. Then we had thunderstorms and masses of rain all at the same time. It was quite insane. I looked out and I could see sun and I heard thunder. It was bizarre. Rebecca's here as well, and she's just had some lentil soup. Yum, yum, yum. So we are talking all things style today. So as I introduce you to Helen and bring her on in a moment, I want you to be thinking about what questions have you got when it comes to your own style, having yourself feel comfortable and confident in how you adorn yourself on the outside so you feel really, so you feel really good on the inside. So let's see if we can do this. So Helen, how did I meet Helen? I can't even remember how I met Helen, but we were introduced to each other and she helped me doing some shopping. I hate shopping. I absolutely fucking hate shopping. It is one of the things that I loathe the most in the world, except for possibly scooping ice cream that is too hard. I hate that too. That's what it reminds me of, right? Because I had no confidence about what I was looking for. And even to this day, even though I have confidence now in my style and I know what I like, I still don't really like trawling through shops, finding it all. And so there was a time when we first launched one of many that I was looking for some outfits for a photo shoot that I had and also for our first One Woman conference because it was not long after I'd had James, my son, and my colors had changed so significantly that all of my actual skin tone changed after pregnancy that all of my old outfits just didn't feel like me anymore. I initially had my colors done by the lovely Karen Haller, another member of our awesome community, and that had changed dramatically. And now I just needed somehow to put not just the colors together, but with a look that felt really good. So we connected with Helen and, oh my God, it made my whole life easy. She helped me to find my natural style so that I could really create a wardrobe that worked, and I didn't have to kind of and like for half an hour every day about what I was going to wear. And that just, I mean, how much time this woman has given me back, I cannot tell you. To say nothing of the fact that she's been to so many one-woman conferences, and just because I've known she's there, to come up to my room, help me with these outfits, putting things together, pinning me in and doing all of the things. She's amazing. Now, Helen works predominantly with women in business, but anyone who cares about wanting to have their outside match their inside, so that you can have a personal style that works for you. Because when you wear outfits that reflects your true self, you're way more confident to be the unstoppable, unique, authentic version of yourself. And worrying and spending time angsting over how to present becomes a thing of the past. Her background is in advertising sales in the big glossy magazines. I love this. Imagine sharing a lift with the editor of Harper's Bazaar, She, and Cosmopolitan all in one day. That would be enough to turn my head into a spin about what the hell to wear. It's for these sorts of reasons that Helen retrained and became an image consultant after having her children. And having that big life change, felt that she needed a change, and that's how she did it. So she became an image consultant, and she's doing amazing work with so many women in the One of Many community. We're really pleased to have her as one of our mentors. So I'm going to bring her out of the green room and onto your screens. Here she is, the lovely Helen Reynolds.
Hello.
Hi, darling. How are you?
Really good, thank you. How are you? Well, I know you're well.
Really well. Good to see you and great to have you, darling. Really, really great. I'm really excited about today's chat, actually.
Me too, and I feel very special to be the first guest on here. That's amazing. Thank you.
Right? The first time we've organised the tech, Greg's made it all work for us. It's happy days, happy days. There was a little moment where we're like, holy shit, is this going to work? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Everything is great. So, ladies, we're going to have, I'm going to ask Helen a few questions here and get the ball rolling. But I would love to hear from you, and we would love to hear what's landing with you, what questions you've got about this stuff. Because I know for me, if we kind of, if I cast my mind back to when I was younger, Helen, and you've heard me tell this story, many times, but I was so anti-feminine because I thought that meant, weak, that how I looked was something I deliberately chose to ignore, play down, and hide. I was at university wearing what you Brits call jogging bottoms, which I always find quite amusing. We call them tracky dacks in Australia. So I would wear my tracky dacks, my Blunston boots, big floppy Mambo surf T-shirts, basically so that I could hide, my body inside of it, because I didn't want people to think that I wasn't intelligent or that I was, like, I didn't want to get pigeonholed, right? And it was weird. It was a weird choice. I grant that. But I know that I'm not alone like that. I know that a lot of women, because they don't know how to dress for their inner self, pull on masks of stuff like that, like hide themselves in some way, shape, or form. Have you noticed that with the women that you work with, that they kind of tend to fall into a style, and it's not a style? It's like, let me hide from who I am.
Absolutely. I call it shoulding. I call it, basically anything that a woman puts on her body to try and say something other than who she truly is, I call shoulding. So whether you're shoulding because you think, oh, I'm going live on Facebook, I need to put a really smart jacket on and it doesn't make you feel good, or whether you're going to a summer wedding and you feel like you have to buy a pretty floral dress because that's what people wear to a pretty wedding, to summer weddings, or whether you feel like you've gained weight, so you need to buy some bigger clothes and hide what's going on underneath those clothes. That's shoulding as well. And when you should, you don't feel good. And when you, particularly with the wearing clothes to hide your body, if you've gained a bit of weight or you feel self-conscious, actually what women don't realize is when you've got great swathes of fabric covering your body, you actually look bigger than you are in your beautiful body. And my absolute core of me is that every woman is beautiful. I truly believe that. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter how old you are. Your size, anything about your physical appearance doesn't matter. You are beautiful just the way you are. And learning how to put the clothes on and the accessories on in a way that makes you feel good from the inside and not pretending to be anything that you're not makes, like you say, it saves time. But for me, when I went through this transformation for myself, it's more about feeling like me, like the best version of me in my skin, whether I'm presenting online, whether I'm going for a walk with my family in the woods at the weekend and it's cold and wet, whether I'm going to the pub for a lovely lunch with a friend, whatever I'm doing, I want to feel like the best version of me, not all glammed up all of the time, but just like my clothes fit who I am.
Yeah.
And we don't need to be shoulding for that.
And I think that's it, right? I mean, I've had many times during my life where I've not felt like that. You know, that having after the birth of James, that was another one of those times where I looked at my wardrobe, which was this 20 something, you know, speaker, global traveler wardrobe, and went, fuck, that's not who I am anymore. Do you know? It's really not who I am anymore. And not only that, but you know, my tones had changed so dramatically that the colors just didn't work, and it felt like I was really putting something on if I pulled out that wardrobe. But then I noticed even after the birth of Rosie, I got this tremendous pot belly, partly because of the bloating, because of my digestive issues. But it, you know, and even now, like I've lost so much weight in the last year because of, again, digestive issues and exclusion diets and things. But still, the tummy, you know, the little pot belly is there. And I went through that phase of buying a bunch of stuff to hide it. But then even in trying to hide it, I looked at the things and I'm like, I don't even really like those choices that I made. You know, it was really out of that place of shame. And it takes something, though, doesn't it? It really takes something to be able to put that to the side and you say, well, this, you know, I do like my body. I do like that. What's your take on that? You know, you must see a lot of women who don't like how they look or how they fit into clothes and things. How do you approach it with somebody?
Well, I've been told I'm very compassionate, which is a relief. That's always a nice place to start.
You look
Also,
terrible, darling. We can't do that.
Oh, God, what are you doing? No, as I said, I truly believe everybody's beautiful at whatever size, however they are is how they are right now, and that's fine. But I also know, because I see so many women, that those that have got big boobs want small boobs. Those that have got a big bum want a smaller bum. Those that have got a flat bum, like I have, want a big juicy bum. Those that are tall want to be shorter. Those that are big want to be skinnier. Those that are skinny want to have more curves. We're just not happy with who we are. A lot of women aren't comfortable with how we are. And, you know, I've worked with so many women over the years who've said to me, I'm not going to work with you yet because I need to lose a bit of weight first. And when I've lost the weight, then I'll sort out my wardrobe. And then, you know, 2 years later, they're still saying, well, I haven't lost the weight yet. I lost a bit. It's gone back on. And I'm like, do you know what? Forget about the weight. Let's dress you today for how you will feel your best right now, and stop thinking about that weight. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes the minute you feel gorgeous in the clothes that you wear, you start looking for other things to change. It's like cleaning out your kitchen drawer. And you think, oh, which other drawers could do with a little bit of attention? And actually, for some of my clients, when they've learned how to dress for the beautiful body that they have right now and stop comparing it to everybody else's, because we're all beautifully different, then they go, oh, this feels nice. I wonder what would happen if I cleaned up my diet a little bit or cut a little bit back on the alcohol, and then the pounds do start to drop off if that's one of their aims. And you know, everything, it can have a knock-on. You wouldn't think that just changing the way you dress would have a knock-on effect on anything else really, except ease of putting your clothes on and being happier with what you see in the mirror. But actually, it's like any self-improvement or development. You start to look around and go, right, feel great in this, what else needs fixing?
So true. And you know, I can totally concur with that. For me, the way that we would talk about that here at One of Many is that doing something like getting, you know, adorning yourself beautifully, right, is part of our lover power type. So for those of you who are new to the community, we talk about the 5 women's power types. I'm just grabbing the cards here so that we can see them. So here at One of Many, we talk about these 5, you know, women's power types that we all have more or less access to. And what we're talking about here with Helen is accessing our lover energy, right? Our lover energy is the center of our self-care. Yes, she's the center of our sensuality and our sexuality, but I think she brings beauty. She cares about how she grooms herself and her space. And this is something that I have noticed dramatically again over this last year. I knew that for me to survive this tough year of lockdown, right, and be who I needed to be for the community, I would need to nourish my lover power type more than any of the other 5, because I know she's the gateway. I can't be in queen and making powerful decisions. I can't be in warrioress and getting things done if I'm running on empty. So I knew the first place was nourishing lover, which we've spoken about quite a bit here on Lunch and Learn Live. And as part of that, you know, I have bought more gorgeous lingerie in the last year than I have in my entire life before. And I wear, you know, I will often wear it just underneath my mum gear or whatever. Like you say, going for a walk in the woods, but I know what I've got underneath, and it makes me feel radiant. And it's really interesting because doing that did make me start to make different choices. It was much easier to do the exclusion diet. It was much easier to do all of that because I'm saying I'm worth it, you know. So I can totally get that. And I think we can either work outside in or inside out, do you know?
Totally.
Doing both together, not doing a once I, then I, but doing both together. I think it's a fabulous approach, really fabulous approach.
Absolutely. And I love how you can, so if you, I find, I do this for myself, if I wake up in a bit of a funk and a bit low energy and I need to change my state in order to do the work that I'm due to do that day, I'll use clothes as my tool to put something gorgeous on, feel amazing, and get out there and do what I've got to do. But equally, I can change. I've forgotten what I was going to say now. The opposite is true as well. But how's that? I've lost what I was going to say.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can start working your emotions first, right? You can actually come in and do the emotional piece, and then you'll choose your adornment to.
Exactly. Yeah. So you'll wear something because you're feeling so amazing, and you feel. So many people spend. I don't know if you've ever done this, Jo, but I know the ladies out there, I'm sure, will recognise this. People have a tendency, not in the last year, but forget the last year, to spend more money on pieces of clothing that they're going to wear once or twice. So go back to the wedding. I'm going to a wedding. I need to buy a new dress to attend this wedding. Or, you know, special occasion wear. We'll spend a fortune on special occasion wear it once or twice and then never wear it again. Or, you know, buy a really nice top for work or for something and then put it at the back of the wardrobe and only wear it on very special occasions. And again, back to that lover energy and knowing that you're worth these beautiful things. If you've spent money or chosen beautiful pieces of clothing, don't leave them at the back of the wardrobe. Put them on today. Allow them to be worn and enjoyed and feel good in them, and maybe switch around your thinking so that instead of, you know, busting the budget on something to wear to a wedding or a special occasion, think about those clothes that you wear more often that need to withstand all of that laundry and all of that wear. Get better quality pieces for every day that make you feel good. And, you know, you don't need to spend that much on something that might not get worn very often, or start thinking about outfits for special occasions or rare occasions as pieces that could be integrated into your everyday wear, that could be mixed and matched with jeans and trainers and still feel great. And just not wait, because it's such a waste. It's not just a waste of money, it's a waste of resources. It's a waste of, you know, thinking about sustainability and the way some people shop. I'm sure the members of this community don't do this, but we all know that the fashion industry is a major problem in the world, and the pollution. It's the second biggest polluter apparently after travel. We've got to change our habits and buy well, buy once, buy well, and wear it a lot, basically.
And I think that's it, right? That's absolutely it. I know I went through a year of only buying secondhand. I didn't buy anything new. I thought I'm going to set myself, and I live in the Cotswolds where the charity shops here are full of beautiful things as well, right? And I got some beautiful pieces, you know, really, really beautiful pieces. And I just also realized you don't need to buy things as frequently as we think, you know. Clearly I need to make some investments at the moment. Things are a little bit tight and there's not much left of me compared to what there was. So, but yes, now this is great. I'm just noticing some of these lovely comments coming in. Jen saying, good timing. I'm feeling like I want to throw out the majority of my clothes. They just aren't me anymore. I'm quite liking the evolution. And I can relate to that. I bet there's a lot of us in this community at the moment who are, as we're now coming back into the world after a period of almost being like in a chrysalis, right? Where we've been in lockdown, you know, wearing our waist up wardrobes, if you like, you know, for Zoom calls or whatever, but not thinking much about what happens beneath. We're kind of like, oh God, you know, what do I want to wear? How comfortable, you know, what works for me around all of that kind of stuff? So as we're doing that, I wonder, Helen, what would be your approach? If someone's at that point with like, gosh, I look at my wardrobe, it doesn't feel like me. Where do you start?
Well, obviously learning about your style is the first place to start. But if you're not doing that, one great tip that you can literally do the next time you get dressed, so maybe tomorrow morning, is pick something out of your, so tie a ribbon around your rail somewhere, maybe halfway down your rail, pick something out to wear tomorrow, wear it. And when you take it off at the end of the day, ask yourself, did you feel good in it? Did it look good? Did you like it? Is it a good piece? Are you going to wear it again? If it's a yes, put it the other side of the ribbon, so you know it's in the keeper. And you shouldn't put your ribbon around halfway, put it right at the end. Put your piece at the other side of the ribbon, and then each day, don't let yourself go back to that end of the ribbon. You've got to get through the stuff that you've already got. And so sometimes when people are trying to do a massive wardrobe edit, it's just overwhelming. You've got everything out. It's all on the bed. You wish you'd never started. It's exhausting. There's dust flying around the room, and it's just stressful. And we don't need to be doing that. So do it one day at a time. You select a new piece, not a new piece, but a piece to see if you want to wear it. Check in with yourself. Was it comfortable? Did it feel nice next to your skin? Did you like the way it looked? Was it easy to mix and match with some other pieces? Take it off and decide, is it going back in behind the ribbon or is it going in the charity bag?
What a great tip. I love that. Do you know, I've been stuck for a while because I have got a wardrobe full of stuff at the moment. I'm like, thinking about I have to do the big day, but I think I'll take that tip. That sounds really, really great. I love it. I love it. Karen saying, hi, Joe, and Helen, loving today's topic. Clothes are such a great way to express who I am and how I feel. And agree, it's an evolution. I'm not the same person I was a few years ago, and it's been a joy to embrace how my style has evolved. I totally embraced my wardrobe. I love that. And that's where kind of where we want to come from, right? I love it.
Absolutely.
Alison saying, I bought some beautiful dresses for various sorts of dancing I do, but cannot wear these at work. Huge flowing skirts and starched petticoats. Not worn in the last year, but hard to wear a lot anyway. Yeah, got it. So if we're kind of starting with that edit, like going through and going, what do I think about the pieces that I have? What other sorts of things do we need to be aware of? You know, when we're kind of looking to kind of create I mean, obviously, I believe what people should do is just come work with you because I'm a shortcutter and can't figure it out for myself, and I'd rather you just tell me, right? And I know you do one-on-one work, or you also run workshops, and we'll talk more about that later on so people know how to reach out to you. But if someone was kind of going, okay, I want to see, you know, what is my style? You know, how do you answer that question?
Well, I'm often found to be said that I don't really care about the clothes. I care about how you feel. And obviously that's not true because I really love clothes. I'm obsessed with clothes. But what you want to check in with yourself first is, how do I feel in certain styles? So there are clear distinctions of different styles, and there's clear reasons why certain styles absolutely work for a person and other ones absolutely don't. And that's very hard to teach. It's something I'm trained in, and I can teach around it, but actually the specifics of it can be tricky to do yourself. So I just say tune into it. And a great example of this, Joe, is what you were sharing about your work prior to having children. And before I met you and I knew I was about to work with you, I Googled you and saw all of your photos online of your sort of power suits and your bright colours, because I was convinced you'd be what we call a winter in colour analysis terms, because you were wearing the bold reds and really bright, bold colours and looked like this powerful, successful woman, which you are still. But this new brand and your new person, the person you felt like inside once you'd had James, was totally not that woman as you just shared, and your style needed to be softened. And if you were showing up in one of many in a bright red trouser suit and a load of, I don't know, just really, really glam and classic and dramatic, there'd be a disconnect between who you are, what you're sharing, and who your audience is. It would probably be more difficult for them to really hear you and see you and be drawn to you magnetically, which is what you're so good at. But by dressing in a softer, more authentic way, and in those autumn colors that you suit so well now, you really are, you're living what you're teaching. And it's easier for the people who are right for one of many and who are going to really thrive in your community to hear you, see you, and get you. And when I'm working with a client or in one of my programs, the first thing I teach is work out your lifestyle areas, because there's absolutely no point having a wardrobe, and you ladies watching can do this again, like straight after this call. Look at your wardrobe and decide how much of that wardrobe is relevant to your current lifestyle. And I'm not talking about your lockdown lifestyle, what you know is you're stepping back into. And often what's in there, there's no wonder you've got nothing to wear, or you feel like you've got nothing to wear, because everything in there isn't actually appropriate for what your life is anymore. And people tend to hang on to suits from corporate days 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that they're never going to need to wear anymore. And sometimes there's this reluctance to get rid of things, especially if they were an investment, if they're really good quality suits that they used to love wearing to work. But if you don't need those pieces anymore and they're not relevant to your lifestyle, your wardrobe isn't serving you. And some people are good at making quick decisions about, right, that's not right for me, that needs to go. I'm very much like that. I'm a quick decision person. But other people, and it's not wrong to be like this, it takes a while, or there's more of an emotional attachment to something. So in that case, I say archive your pieces. Take those gorgeous luxury suits that you used to wear all the time and feel powerful at work in, pack them beautifully away in tissue paper, put them in the loft, put them somewhere else. But what we want to do is try and get your wardrobe to a place where it reflects your true lifestyle, whether it's 50% smarter stuff for work and 50% casual stuff for out of work, a lot of, for, you know, your home life. But a lot of ladies, there's quite a crossover these days, and work for a lot of us is a lot more casual than it used to be. So does your whole wardrobe need to be mix and matchable smart casual? So, you know, on a smarter day, you might add this, and on a more casual day, you add in this, but you're not totally changing your style for work, for play, for date night. You know, there's got to be some sort of connection between what your style is that makes sense, rather than dressing in a totally different way every time you're doing something else in your diary. But just to check in after this call and look at your wardrobe and say what percentage is right for me and what needs to change to make it more true to what my life is now. And that does, over time, mean that your decision every day isn't what on earth am I going to wear? It's which of my great outfits will I put on today for this thing I'm doing, because you just know it's there.
I love it. I love it.
Lifestyle.
There's some such great tips here. Ladies, if this is resonating with you and you know you've got girlfriends or sisters or mums that could really use some of this wisdom, that would be, you know, interested in this, please do tag them in the comments. You know, just write their name, tag them on Facebook, let them know that the video is here, or share the video to your Facebook page yourself, or send it as a little message to them. We'll pop it up on YouTube after we're finished here as well. So do that. I love that. Jane says, I love the idea of archiving my past. Yeah, right? Yeah. And then that's what I, you know, because I find it hard to let go of that stuff. I've got this beautiful, I know it's sitting there, beautiful DKNY jacket, which I love, but the lace around the edges of it's faded a little bit. And so I haven't worn it for years because it just looks tired now. But I don't want to let it go because it cost me a lot of money, and, you know, it's beautiful.
Get it altered. Get the lace changed.
Oh, I should do that, right?
Yes. Repurpose.
There you go. There you go. There's my tip. There's my takeaway from today.
And don't try and do it yourself. Give somebody else whose job it is to sew things to do it. Otherwise, you might drive yourself mad with it.
I wouldn't try myself. I love it. I love it. But how I would normally do things is try and put it away. And then if I don't think about it for ages, then it's not part of my life anymore. So then it can go to the charity shops, or usually it goes via one of my friends who's got, you know, girls in their, you know, they're in their 20s or whatever. They rifle through first of all.
Awesome.
Off to the charity shops. I love it. Cherie says, this sounds like a great way to start. Fantastic. Now, there are some great questions that have been coming in here, Helen, which I'm going to start taking some of your questions, ladies. So please, in the comment section, if this is landing for you, give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts. Let us know how this is landing for you. If you're finding this enjoyable, useful, helpful to nourish your lover energy. If you know you have low lover energy, if you've done your Women's Power Type profile, if you're coming to the One Woman Conference and you know that that's something that needs some attention, maybe one of the things you should do is start exploring in this area. It's a really great way to explore. So let's have a look at some of these questions. Louise says, there's a saying that you should dress for the job that you want, not the one that you have. What are your thoughts on this? Good question.
I do agree with that, Louise, but only if you're doing it in a way that makes you feel like you. So when I spoke at the beginning about shoulding, like we think, okay, I want to get a better job, so I'm going to suddenly start dressing in sharp suits. That's not the way to do it. It's about tapping into those clothes that you recognize make you feel good. Basically, think about when do you feel your most gorgeous when you get dressed? And even if it's like, God, when I go to when I go to a party, when I used to go to a party and I put on my heels and a gorgeous dress and a sparkly earrings, I felt amazing. Well, of course, you can't wear that to work probably, but take some elements of that and think, right, is it the heels? Is it the jewelry? Is it the fabric? What is it what's part of it that makes me feel amazing? And how can I add that into my work outfits to up level? I do believe in up leveling. I think, we're all on a journey in this life, and my clients know that their personal growth is connected to their business growth, and so they do these sorts of things. A lot of my clients are in your community too, Jo, and in your programs, because they're just constantly on this improvement journey of feeling, or in this journey to feeling awesome about themselves. So yes, I do believe dress for the job you want, get noticed, get visible, but do it in a way that feels good. Because if you do it in a way that feels wrong and you just think it's a shoulding, you know, I should dress like this, you don't act like you don't be you, and then you don't behave like you, and it's not authentic, and it just doesn't work. So it's working from within. What makes you feel amazing? It might be a certain color, it might be a certain fabric, it might be a way of accessorizing, but something that makes you, because you're different to everyone else, feel amazing.
I love that. I absolutely love that, because as you say, if you're doing it just because that's what you should be doing, then you're going to be inauthentic, and you're going to feel incongruent, and people will notice that. So the whole thing backfires, right?
Yeah.
I
Or you
love
spend
that.
the whole day fussing with what you've worn because it feels so alien. You're like trying to do your work, but actually the ideal is you put your outfit on every day and then you stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
You go out, you do what you're doing, and you focus on what you're doing, not, you know, oh, is this right or not?
I love it. There's some more great questions here. This one from Alison. I've got a lot to get rid of, but it's good stuff I struggle to just send to the charity shop. I'm not good with apps or Facebook selling. Any ideas? Like when you go through someone's wardrobe with them, Helen, like you help them do the clear out, or you know, people have done a workshop with you and they go home, they do that. There must be lots of great ideas out there about how to, you know, how best to be of service with what you're letting go, right?
Yeah. Well, there's lots of different things you can do. There's there's probably more than this one charity, but a great charity called SmartWorks, who support women who are coming out of prison or just disadvantaged and just not able to they're struggling to get work. And they teach them and coach them in all sorts of areas, like interview techniques and getting their CVs together and helping them to get their foot in the door to an interview. And SmartWorks is a charity that will take your good workwear and help the stylists that work for them, that help these ladies put an outfit together that feels good, and they give them the clothes to then be able to go to the interviews. So that feels amazing, to be able to give somebody else a step up if you've got beautiful clothes that they could never, you know, at the moment never afford to buy. There's loads of, I mean, you've said you're not good with Facebook selling. There's loads of other websites like Vestiaire. I mean, there's loads of them who will take, I've just sold a designer handbag through vestiaire.com, and they do take quite a big cut, but they're well known for guaranteeing that what you're selling is what you say you're selling. Like if you bought a designer bag off eBay, you might not it might not be a designer handbag. So I do recommend Vestiaire if you're not too bothered about how much commission you take. And then there's other, like, if you can be bothered to do this, there's like, do clothes swap parties with your friends. Once we can get back into each other's houses, everybody turns up with 2 or 3 pieces, and you can leave with 2 or 3 pieces, and, you know, share it out.
I love
Have fun with it. Make it a lovely evening with wine and nibbles and getting together again and changing up all your wardrobes.
Yeah, great idea. I love, Sarah said earlier, I love this. She said, for every piece you no longer wear, that no longer affects who you are. There's a lady out there who's just finding herself in that place and is in need of a perfect clothing to make her feel great. I love that.
That's awesome, Sarah.
Isn't that beautiful? I really, really love that.
Absolutely it.
Thanks, Sarah.
And you know, again,
another charity that that I've been present to is Smalls for All for
oh yes,
you know,
the
for
bras,
bras, which is fantastic as well. And there's loads and loads of great ones out there. But I think that's it. You know, just release it. The other thing, I mean, if you've got stuff and you don't want to sell it yourself, there is a kid in your neighborhood, and I did this once with a whole lot. It wasn't clothes; it was a whole lot of stuff when we moved house. But it's the same concept. Whole lot of stuff that was really valuable. It wasn't valuable enough for my time for money to be sitting there listing it all on Facebook or eBay or any of that kind of stuff. But I had a friend who she had plenty of time on her hands, and that was something she was interested in. So I gave the whole lot to her, and she listed it. And I said, just keep whatever you make, you know, or you might say split it 50-50 with somebody. But if there's a teenager that lives next door, or if you've got a niece or a nephew or someone who would happily sit there and list all of your stuff for you, and they might make 500 quid or something, you know, give it to them or split the money with them. And it's a great way to give someone a helping hand to get started like that.
Absolutely. And to get that amazing feeling of the clutter leaving your house and creating space, whether it is for new stuff to come in or whether it's just to have space between your clothes and your wardrobe. If everything in your wardrobe is really closely packed in and there's things that have fallen off that you don't even know they've fallen off because they're still caught halfway down between two pieces, or it's right on the floor in the dusty pile, and that's not good for your clothes. So to really thin things out and have a little bit of space. I always try and get my clients to make their wardrobes look a bit boutique-like. You know, the difference between going in Primark, where everything's all over the place, and when you go in a really expensive boutique and everything's beautifully laid out with space in between. I'm like, make your wardrobe a boutique. Why not? Take some stuff out and get some breathing space there.
I love it. We need spaciousness in all of our lives, right? Why not in our wardrobe? I love that. Eve's comment here has triggered a question for me. She said, I love this. A great way to think about it. I've got a range of evening clothes that suited a previous work life, but they just hang. Maybe it's the moment to make some changes in the wardrobe. So I can see that part of it might be relinquishing that old lifestyle. But there was something you said earlier about kind of matching things up, like taking something that we think's evening wear, but maybe doing something to it that we can, you know, use in our current lifestyle. Have you got any kind of tips on that? I mean, that feels to me beyond the realms of what my brain is ever capable of. But I know that you know you see things through that lens. How can we approach that kind of a challenge?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know, I find it really easy. Obviously, it's the work that I do, but we call it high-low dressing. So it's like, you know, getting something that's really glam, like a pair of gorgeous heels or whatever you've got, and then putting it with your jeans, maybe your ripped jeans if you're into that style, and a t-shirt with like some of those t-shirts that are more rugged with like inside out seams, and the Jigsaw do them a lot, the kind of raw seaming detail. And, you know, rough up your hair and off you go with your jeans and your t-shirt, but your amazing heels. I mean, actually, that's not a great example because most of us don't ever want to put heels on again after this last year. I don't know if we could walk in them anymore. But yeah, you know, a great example is a great top that you think is a going out top. Well, again, put it with your jeans, put it with your shorts in the summer. Just try it. Just try and look in the mirror and see how it feels. See how it looks, obviously, but more importantly, check in with yourself. How does it feel? And if it feels like a bit exciting and you're not sure, then that's probably means wear it, you know, wear it and see. And what I also see, which is the opposite of that, is sometimes people spend all their money on something really amazing and beautiful that really is a beautiful top, and they put it on and they go out into the world waiting for the compliments to come, because they're like, here I am in my amazing top. And then they don't understand why no one's saying what an amazing top. And it's because that top doesn't match who they are. So they might be going on the fact that it's an expensive, gorgeous, luxury, whatever top. But if it doesn't love you, I call it loving you back. If it doesn't suit you or love you back, it's just another top. But you can buy a relatively inexpensive top that's absolutely true to who you are, color-wise, texture-wise, print-wise, that could have cost next to nothing as long as it's sustainably made. And you can make that look $1 million if you wear it knowing that it feels amazing. It's the way you wear things that's more important than what it is you're wearing. So if you've got evening clothes that don't feel amazing, then let them go. But if you've got evening clothes that could be mix and matched, just try it. Try it and see how it feels.
Oh, I love it. That's fantastic. Fantastic. There's one more question here, which I'd love just to take, and then we may look at wrapping up, ladies. Please do share. I can see a few of you saying thanks. This has been so informative. Please share the video with your loved ones. Spread the word. It's like a good wine. I think great sessions are best shared. Sandra says, I'm 3 weeks post-mastectomy and reconstruction, and the other side reduction to match, and I feel very different, but not sure where to start with refreshing my wardrobe. Have you got any suggestions? I bet that this is like, you know, like whether it's mastectomy or childbirth or post any kind of surgery, you know, there's going to be these moments, aren't there, where there's like, oof, gee, how am I in relationship to how I, you know, how I dress myself and adorn myself now? How do you approach that with someone, Helen?
Well, it might take a little bit of time for your head to catch up with your new shape and your new body. And you often hear this when people have lost a lot of weight and they don't recognize themselves in the mirror anymore. And it takes a while for them to catch up with how their new body is. I think fit is really important. So it's quite likely that some of the clothes you wear won't fit you well anymore. So if you wear, as I said earlier, if you wear clothes that don't fit you properly, they can make you look bigger, like you hide your shape. And it doesn't mean that everybody needs to be really showing off their shape in really tightly fitting clothes. It just means that things need to fit you in certain places. So it might mean that you need to treat yourself definitely, obviously, to some new underwear to make sure that fits you, because before we put anything on, we need to have a good, base of underwear that's comfortable and that gives you a nice, gives you a good shape. And then you might want to just look at, maybe even an hour in your wardrobe, get all your tops out and just start trying them on and see which ones feel good first, but also look nice and feel good to you on your new shape. And it might be that you have to buy a few new bits. I don't know, because I haven't met you or seen you, but good luck with it, and do reach out to me. I have a free Facebook group. I'm very happy to help you with questions. I do a Style It Up hour every week where I ask people to post their outfit photos, and I'm there just there for an hour a week to go, try this, try that, that looks too big, that looks perfect. So if you want to come on over to my Facebook and share some photos of outfits, I'm really happy to give you hands-on help just there.
Oh, fantastic. So what's the address then for that Facebook group? What are we looking for?
That Facebook group, if you look up The Style Place, it's a private Facebook group. So it's just women. There's just women in there, and we're just all on the same mission to feel great in the clothes that we wear. And as I say, one hour a week, I'm there to literally do what I get paid to do for free in the group, just to help with confidence around putting outfits together. So maybe hang out there, Sandra, and I'll see what I can do to help you.
I love it. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And Helen, if people do want to connect with you further, to either, I know you do some amazing workshops, and you do amazing one-on-one, both, coming into people's homes and sorting out their wardrobe, as well as taking them shopping, which is my favorite way to spend time with you. How best to find you?
Okay, so my website has all sorts of free resources and a get in touch button if you want to talk to me. My website is helenreynoldsstyle.com. Very simple. I'm running an event just by chance at the end of this month, 29th of May, which is a Saturday, which is where I'm going to teach you lovely ladies, those of you that choose to come along, how to recognize the colors, the cuts, the shapes, the fabrics, the styles, the ways of accessorizing that are right for you. And it all starts, I can give tips and advice as I have done today, but really it all starts from this platform of knowing your colors, your shape, your style, your fabrics, etc. And if you don't learn that, you're just guessing. It's trial and error, and you're guessing, and that takes time, energy, and effort. So I'm running an event. It's called Nail Your Personal Style, Take Your Brand to the Next Level. I've actually got a special coupon code, Jo, for one of many if they do want to come along.
Yes.
So the URL for that, I don't know if we can share it afterwards.
I'll put it in the comments as you speak.
The URL is www.helenreynolds.style.com/masterclass 2021.
Masterclass 2021. Let's see. HelenReynoldsStyle.com Masterclass 2021. There we go.
And it's an online event. It's on Zoom, but it will not feel like Zoom, because you're going to be set up in your bedroom. You're going to be learning stuff, and then you're going to be going into your wardrobes to find the stuff that we've just learned about. Then you're going to be in small breakout rooms. Then you're going to come back to me and share and question. It's going to be really interactive. Tickets are only £97 anyway at the moment. We're in the early bird period, and I've got a coupon code which is OOM special. Discount for one of many. 15% discount is OOM special, all in capital letters, no gaps. OOM special, and that will give you 15% off the ticket price.
Excellent. I'm trying to put it all in caps.
Thank you.
Special for 15% off. Beautiful. Oh, how lovely.
Let's get it all done in one day, basically. And then when you do go to your wardrobe to sort it out, you know why that's going, because it's not your style, it's not your color, it's not your cut. And it's easier to get rid of things when you actually understand why they're not serving you anymore.
That sounds so much. That sounds like a really fun thing to do.
Right? I know.
Oh God, I love it. We're looking for like fun and adventurous things for us to be doing while we're still kind of can't quite go out in the world in the way that we used to. That sounds fantastic. Well, listen, Helen, thank you so much for being with us here today. It's been such a pleasure to have you. And let us know in the comments section, ladies, what are you taking away from today? What have been your takeaway messages? How has it landed for you? We'd love to hear. And please do share with your friends and family as well if this has been helpful for you. Helen, as always, it's been lovely to spend some time with you. Thank you so much.
My
And
absolute pleasure.
yeah, it's been great. And if you want to transform the outside in, go hang out with Helen, do her workshop. You're going to love it. If you want to transform from the inside out, then of course we've got the One Woman Conference coming up in June as well. I know you've been to a few, Helen, haven't you?
There was a point where I'd been to every single one because I missed one year and I was like, bloody hell, I've been to every single One Woman Conference ever.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So if you're looking for 2 days of powerful transformation, come and join us. We're going to have thousands of women there. We are hiring a studio up in Stafford, this amazing venue, so that it's not just going to be like, I know some of you have been on some of our larger events with us where it's just like a webinar, a bit like this, right? Where you can see chat channel and maybe 1 or 2 people. We're going to have everybody there. You'll be able to see everybody's faces, all of the all of the participants. You're going to be doing breakout rooms. We're going to be having transformational meditations. You're going to be meeting women from all over the world. You're going to be networking and forming connections. It's going to be every bit like being in person that we can possibly achieve until we can get some decent numbers in the room. It's going to be so much fun. And so One Woman Conference, you can get registered right now. Tickets are selling at the moment. We've got early bird pricing as well. It's onewomanconference.co.uk. So go check that out, and we'll give you a beautiful introduction to all of the one of many tools, the superwoman myth, the women's power types, and helping you to overcome imposter syndrome and inertia and get back to your sense of power inside. And I think these two things go so beautifully together, right?
So beautifully together. And you just shared that I've been to so many conferences, and literally every time I go, I hear something different and I learn something different. Like, you only hear what you're ready to hear and really take in. And so each time I've been able to tweak and change something else. It's an awesome experience.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, darlings, please join me in thanking Helen very much for her time in the chat box there. We've got lots of ladies saying, oh, I love this. Victoria says, soft play event. Absolutely. Coming to your masterclass would be a fantastic soft play event. Catherine saying a big thank you. I love it. Alison's taking away the ribbon on the rail, mixing posh and every day. I love that. Big thanks there from Karen Roswell. Ladies, it's been an absolute pleasure to spend some time with you today. Have you had fun with my first ever Facebook Live guest? Oh, yes. That's been awesome. Thanks again, Helen, for your continued support of One of Many and sharing the vision that we have for a world that works better for everybody, so that we can feel good inside and out, getting out there and making our difference in the world. I'm so grateful for your time, hon.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been really fun, as always.
See you, darlings. We'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.